In this video, I'm going to discuss a very common issue, the biggest lie that women tell. So, what's this lie? You've probably heard it from a woman before, and now I'm going to reveal what it is and why women say it. Additionally, I'll share what you should do when a woman says this again and, most importantly, how to avoid hearing this type of thing from a woman's mouth. Imagine the situation: you go out with a woman once, twice, or you start a friendship with her at work, at college, or anywhere else. As you get to know her better, there comes a time when you try to move forward, maybe try to kiss her or express your feelings in a different way. Then, she says something like, "Look, I think we're better off as friends. I only see you as a friend." When a woman says this, it's important to understand what's going on. When a woman tells you she just wants to be friends, that you're better off as friends, or any variation of that, she is, indeed, lying to you. However, she's doing this to protect you, to preserve your feelings, because the truth would be too difficult for you to handle. She's trying to avoid hurting you or making you feel bad, so she opts for a softer lie. However, it's important that you know the truth. You need to know the reality so that you can learn, develop techniques and skills to prevent this from happening again. So, what's the truth? When a woman says this, the truth is simple: she didn't feel attracted to you as a man. That's the crucial point. Now, why didn't she feel attracted to you? There are two main reasons for this. The first reason is that, during the conversation, you failed to engage her in a man-to-woman interaction that sparked emotions and created chemistry or an emotional connection between you. This chemistry is essential and is nothing more than a cascade of neurotransmitters that are activated in a woman, generating dopamine, oxytocin, and others, which make her attracted and involved. When your conversation is overly rational, following too logical a line without exploring emotional issues, or when you fail to introduce humor that brings joy and challenge to the interaction, the conversation tends to become lukewarm and linear. In these circumstances, the woman can't feel the necessary chemistry, emotional desire, or even sexual desire between man and woman. And what happens here is that often the woman feels an initial attraction to you, especially based on your physical appearance. She sees in you someone who could pique her interest. However, when the conversation starts, when you interact verbally and non-verbally, this attraction doesn't solidify. Your verbal and non-verbal expressions, your attitudes, and what you say or fail to say can create a sensation in her that compromises this initial attraction. Sometimes, you may not understand why her attraction doesn't last. Female attraction, although also visual in many cases, goes beyond that. Even if you're physically attractive to her, conversation and interaction are crucial to maintaining that attraction. She wants to see if you arouse desire in her, not just through your appearance but also through your communication, attitude, and ability to create an emotional connection. Women are socialized from an early age, from childhood, to be very polite and to avoid hurting others. So, she's unlikely to tell you directly that she found the conversation boring or felt nothing. She's been trained to avoid confrontations and to be delicate in her interactions. So, don't dwell too much on what could have been, because I'm explaining to you what might have happened. Often, when a woman shows initial interest and then says something like this, it's because the situation unfolded that way. This is quite common when you take too long to act. For example, if after several meetings you still haven't taken physical initiative, haven't created emotional connections, or haven't shown interest beyond conversation, she may start to see you more as a friend than as a potential romantic partner. A common mistake is when a woman says this, and you try to convince her otherwise, saying things like, "I'll convince you that we're not just friends," or "I found you very beautiful." This is not recommended. Every time a woman says this, she's trying to avoid hurting your feelings by creating an excuse. When you respond with arguments like, "We would get along very well," or "I found you very beautiful," you're appealing to the rational or trying to invalidate what she said, which can seem desperate. It's important to understand that trying to convince her or begging for a chance rarely works. These approaches are not authentic and can convey a lack of confidence. It's better to accept the situation with maturity and move on, rather than insist on something that isn't flowing naturally. So, pleading, trying to convince rationally, none of this works in these situations. When a woman says this, there's often no way to reverse the situation. However, if you want to minimize the damage, you can handle it lightly and even with humor. You can mention that you read somewhere about a study that revealed that, after becoming friends, 90% of couples remain friends. Do this in a relaxed way, with a laugh, and then don't touch the subject for a while. Treat her like a friend, with some distance, and see the conversation in a different light. Focus on creating conversations that generate emotions and know how to use the language of desire subtly and respectfully. There are other videos here on the channel that address these ways to create desire in a conversation and create these emotions that generate attraction. Before we say goodbye, I want to make a special request to you, our incredible viewer. If you enjoyed this content and want more valuable tips like the ones we shared here, be sure to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be joining a community committed to personal growth, the pursuit of knowledge, and continuous development. Here, you'll find inspiration, motivation, and the necessary insights to reach new heights in your life. So, click on the subscribe button, enable notifications, and embark with us on this journey of learning and evolution. We're excited to share more valuable content with you. Thank you for being part of this community and for constantly striving for your best. Until the next video, and remember, the power of transformation is in your hands. Subscribe now and let's grow together. Big hug and goodbye.